Thank you very much for the kind introductory words. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real honor for me to be here. Thanks very much, Ferenc, for inviting me to such a distinguished circle. So dear professors, dear friends, distinguished guests, I was asked to do a presentation about the past 70 years of UNICEF and about the future 70 years of UNICEF, how we are protecting children's life. I am going to go back in the past, however, will not capture 70 years in the future. The only reason is because I will not be accountable in 70 years' time whether I said the right thing. Nor will you. So I would like to go back, and as I said, I would love to talk about what the future, how we see the future at UNICEF in terms of children and the next 25 years. The future depends on what you do today. This was said by Mahatma Gandhi. And I think in our everyday life, especially as I was listening to the speakers, distinguished speakers in the morning, we must agree on this, that we have to do something. We have to act today, otherwise our future is questioned. This is an overcap, what UNICEF is doing for children. You can see here, we start at the very beginning, actually premature time, and we end our duty when a child is 18 years old. But if children can develop today, they can thrive tomorrow. Childhood is a very unique period in your life, in everybody's life. It cannot be repeated. Social research findings show that children's earliest experience significantly influence their future development. Because children have only one opportunity to develop, normally in mind and body, the commitment to protection must be upheld in good times and bad. Society that fail to maintain childhood are societies who are creating the most vulnerable children, vulnerable citizens, and they are definitely going to face economical and social problems. The healthy development of children is crucial to the future of well-being of any society. Since they are still developing, children are especially vulnerable, more than adults, for any climate change issues, environmental pollution, housing pollution, safe water, or any other nutrition issues. Failure to protect children is one of the most costly mistakes a society, government, or all politicians could ever make. We as adults are responsible for our children and, of course, for our future. Therefore, if we try to build a sustainable development future, we need to start it by protecting our kids, by protecting our children. Sustainable development cannot happen without a fair chance for every child. If the most disadvantaged children do not share in progress, it will not be sustained. 26 years ago, the world had made a promise to children. The promise was that we are going to protect all children on the world, on the globus. Protect and promote their rights to survive and thrive, to learn and grow, to make their voices heard and reach their full protection. The Convention of the Right of the Child, which was already mentioned by Her Excellency before, is the rights that must be realized for children to develop their full potential, free from hunger and want, neglect and abuse. The Convention is a very, very important milestone because it acknowledged the fundamental connection between the well-being of children and the strengths of their societies. UNICEF, as you know, is guided by the Convention of the Rights of the Child. Since 1946, when UNICEF was established and worked to advocate for the protection of children's rights, to help meet their basic needs and to expand their opportunities to reach their full potential. Children are the future leaders of our societies. They are the future doctors, actors, actresses. They are our future. they are creating our future society. If their own rights are violated, how will they learn respect for rights of the others? Which is the foundation of civic duty and citizenship? How will they resist the lure of cynicism about the future if their hopes for a better life have been destroyed? If we talk about sustainability, this question must be asked and answered. Let's start this by capturing how we have succeeded protecting children globally in the past years. We have to be able to study the past in order to understand the future. Over the past 25 years, the number of children who die before reaching the 5th birthday has fallen by more than a half. From 91 deaths per 1,000 live births in 1990 to 43 in 2015. Over the same period, the number of under 5 deaths per year has declined from 12.7 million to nearly 6 million. Falling mortality since 2000 has saved the lives of nearly 50 million children under the age of 5. Reductions in under 5 mortality have accelerated in recent years, especially in some of the most challenging contexts. The global annual rate of reduction in under 5 mortality more than doubled during the years 2000 and 2015 period. Progress in reducing under 5 mortality in sub-Saharan Africa has been faster than ever else in the world. The lives of millions of children have improved since 1990, not only their chances to survive, but also to develop and thrive. 23% more children are enrolled to schools. 2.1 billion people gained access to safe water. 1.9 billion people gained access to hygiene and sanitation. 37% less children are stunting. 700 million less people live in extreme poverty. These gains are very impressive and they are achievements. However, there is a future, is challenging, and it is ahead of us. Despite all these progresses, still today, 58 million children of primary school age remain out of school. 230 million children live in countries affected by armed conflicts. 663 million children do not have access to safe water. 168 million children need to work. Every 5th homicide victims are children. 230 million children under age of 5 are not registered. It is perfectly clear that we are doing better and better, but there's a huge job ahead of us. Despite the gains achieved in the last 25 years, 16,000 children under the age of 5 die every day. It means 11 child dies every minute. We are losing 11 children every minute in the world. It means nearly 6 million children under the age of 5 will die this year, primarily from preventable causes. Most under 5 deaths are still caused by diseases that are absolutely preventable, or with innovations we could have saved their lives. Globally, infectious diseases, premature and complication during labor or under delivery. The main causes of death under the children aged 5 are these very simple ones, which we can already cure. Pneumonia, diarrhea, malaria. These account to diseases which there's a cure for. 45% of global under 5 deaths occur during a neonatal period. Globally, of course, as you can see also on this map, there is a huge difference in the changes of survival. The burdens are still hugely unevenly distributed. Sub-Saharan Africa remains the region with the highest under-5 mortality rate in the world. Together with South Asia, these regions account for more than 80% of the total under-5 deaths that will occur over the course of 2015. In Sub-Saharan Africa, 1 child out of 12 dies before his 5th birthday. In the world's highest income countries, that ratio is 1 out in 147. A child born in the highest under-5 mortality country faces about 80 times higher risk of dying before reaching the age of 5 as its counterpart in the lowest mortality country. So what does the recent progress and the international commitments tell about the future? What do we foresee for the next 15 years? If levels under 5 mortality for each country remain at today's level, 94 million children under the age of 5 will die between 2016 and 2030. If countries' current rates of decline in under 5 mortality are sustained, almost 25 million of these 94 million children will be saved between the same period of time. And if progress is accelerated to meet the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals targets on child mortality by 2030, 38 million of these 94 million children could be saved. And of course, these figures could be even better at countries who will reach the SDG goals ahead and much quicker than the others. So as already Katalin was talking about SDGs, this is, as I also would like to mention from the UNICEF point of view, a very historical moment that we are facing to reach all the SDGs goals. Sustainable development is by definition a development that can be carried out by future generations. So making the right choices for children at the moment, it is absolutely critical. Taking into account all this, there are some key steps and principles in building a sustainable future. There are 6 principles. Number 1, and to me and to UNICEF is one of the most important ones, is equity. Equity must be a guiding principle in the implementation of the SDGs. The new agenda has the potential to set global development on a more equitable path. It offers a chance to provide all children, whether they come from a poorest family, poorest country, or the richest family. If you see this picture, this tells you what a fair chance means. Most of us would probably think that things are fair when everybody has the same. It's not true. In the image on the left, you can see that these are equals. Both children have the same box under them. But the child on the right cannot see over the fence. Now look at the image on the right. It may be equal, but it is the fair chance. We have to help disadvantaged children. That is what I mean by equity. UNICEF emphasizes equity in its programming and policy advocacy and seeks to understand and addresses the root causes of inequity by helping to gain access to education, to healthy nourishment, to clean water, protection, and other services for every child. Closing equity and equality gaps will be impossible without reaching the most vulnerable children and communities, including children most affected by conflicts, climate change, and natural diseases. It will be essential to combine peace-building, humanitarian and development efforts in new and innovative ways so that societies can break free from repeated and protracted crises and climate-related disasters and establish foundations for sustainable development. UNICEF offers help to governments, strengthening national disaster management capacity and coordination of humanitarian assistance. Yearly, we help at around 200 emergencies every year. Achieving equity and thus sustainable development means investing in the most disadvantaged children. As a child survivor improves, so of course does life expectancy. A one-year improvement in a population's life expectancy is associated with a 4% increase in national economy. Each additional year of schooling translates into an up to 10% increase in potential income. To maximize resources for children, UNICEF offers governments in identifying funding sources for protection and for education, creating consensus around the need on how to invest more in children's life. Innovation. It has been said at the very beginning why we are all here. I mean, the black swans, as it was mentioned by Elamir Hankish. Innovation and new ideas are the crucial for our future of our children. We have to be innovative, and UNICEF is doing its very best to have innovative opportunities, accesses to information, solar-powered mobile schools for children and where they need that, ready-to-use therapeutic food for children, and these are just a few examples. But our innovative team is day after day are working on new ideas for children in need and how they can have their innovation more and better implemented. Robust and disaggregated data will play a crucial role in the future. If we have a good monitoring system, we know exactly where the most vulnerable children are, how we can save their life, and how we can meet in the future these SDG goals. Reaching the SDGs will require focused partnership, of course, from governments, as it was mentioned before, from development partners, from business sector, from academia, from innovators, and from the civil society. However, children and young people also need a space to engage with the decision makers who will put the SDGs into practice. We have to include the young people, the future of ours, into the new decisions we are making. In Hungary, for example, we have just launched our child-friendly city, and the reason why we are so keen on implementing this program to the Hungarian society is because we want the children, so to speak, the target group, to be much more involved in the decisions which their life will be already influenced a huge amountly. They have to be in the decisions of the local municipalities involved and also in the governments. So all in one, I like to finalize my presentation about those most important things which we like to achieve in the future at UNICEF is equity, reach the most vulnerable children, investing in children, innovation, monitoring, engage children, and youth. Achieving the SDG could give every child a fair chance. And if we accelerate the progress and the process, I'm sure we will meet in 15 years' time, and we will be also sort of satisfied what we have achieved. Thank you very much for your patience.